It was over 4,000 years ago when the richest man in Babylon shared his wisdom with the citizens. Do you not pay the garment maker? Do you not pay the sandal maker? What have you to show for your earnings of the past month? You pay to everyone but yourself. It's no different these days. We are slaves to the landlord, the bank, or the government to which we pay rent, mortgages, and taxes. Basically, you spend most of your time making others rich. Keep this in mind when you spend your money. The first lesson is, pay yourself first. Follow the 10% rule. As soon as you receive your salary, pay a tenth of the amount to yourself before any other expenses and put it aside. This habit ensures that you always earn money for yourself first before you slave away for others. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. In his book, George S. Clason illustrates the principles of personal finance through the story of Arcad, the richest man in Babylon. Arcad shares his wisdom on how he became wealthy with a group of individuals seeking to improve their financial situation. On we go. Wealth is like a tree. Speaking of his wealth, Arcad explained, I have paid myself faithfully, following the first rule, and I have entrusted my savings to the shield maker to buy bronze, and each 4th month he does pay me the rental. As you begin following the first rule, you'll see your savings grow over time. Now, as soon as you can, put your hard-earned money to work for you. Money can work for you whether you are asleep or awake. In the book, money is compared to slaves who need neither food nor a place to sleep. And yet they have children, and their children have children. This leads to exponential growth in your wealth. All of them work for you, generating passive income. Wealth, like a tree, grows from a tiny seed. The first copper you save is the seed from which your tree of wealth shall grow. Wealth is a matter of spending. Arcad asked the class, Yesterday, how many of you carried lean purses? All of us, they replied. Yet do not all earn the same. Some earn much more than others. Some have much larger families to support. Yet all purses were equally lean. Now I will tell an unusual truth about men and sons of men. It is this, that what each of us calls our necessary expenses will always grow to equal our income unless we protest to the contrary. This is called lifestyle inflation. Regardless of your income, you may struggle with financial instability if you don't manage your expenses wisely. There are countless successful people who have earned millions and still had to file for bankruptcy. Avoid the trap of increased spending with every increase in income. Keep your expenses in check. Every dollar you don't spend today can grow and turn into several others in the future. All men are burdened with more desires than they can gratify. Confuse not the necessary expenses with your desires. Men of action are favored by the goddess of luck. Did you become wealthy because the goddess whispered in your ear? The class asked. Arcad responded, To me she is a goddess of love and dignity whose pleasure it is to aid those who are in need and to reward those who are deserving. I look to find her, not at the gaming tables or the races where men lose more gold than they win, but in other places where the doings of men are more worthwhile and more worthy of reward. On average, the probability of being hired after an application is 26%. Who do you think will get a job faster? The person who writes an application every day, or the procrastinator who writes one in a month? Luck is not a random occurrence, but rather a byproduct of one's willingness to act upon available opportunities. It's a numbers game. The more you try, the more likely you are to succeed. External factors certainly matter, but it is possible to defy the odds and change the luck in your favor by taking action. Being proactive is the trait successful people share. Opportunity is a haughty goddess who wastes no time with those who are unprepared. Increase your ability to earn. Arcad continued with his lesson. In those days when I was a humble scribe carving upon the clay for a few coppers each day, I observed that other workers did more than I and were paid more. With more interest in my work, more concentration, and more persistence in my effort, few men could carve more tablets in a day than I. With reasonable promptness, my increased skill was rewarded. The more of wisdom we know, the more we may earn. That man who seeks to learn more of his craft shall be richly rewarded. Invest in yourself and your skills. With the amount of books on finance and the internet, the sky's the limit. Here is a video on the psychology of money. Consider subscribing.